Hey guys, Jengar here. Welcome to today's realistic review in which we are taking a look at the Japanese Mitsubishi T2 sitting at 10.0 battle rating. A fantastic plane, one of the crown jewels of this patch. A plane that a lot of us have been looking forward to, and it's great to get my hands on it. I really like the plane. It's a great boom and zoomer and it can energy fight fairly well as well. And it's fast. It is absolutely fast. The maximum speed in this plane at sea level without WEP is 1184 and with WEP 1279 kilometers an hour. At 4500 meters this is 940 without WEP and 1150 with WEP. And finally at 6500 meters still go up to 833 without WEP and 1067 with WEP. Now the plane is a good bit faster than the MiG-19 and the F-100, and it's gonna take new top tier jets to get up in speed again. The speed bump is quite significant. It's 40 kilometers an hour at sea level without WEP for the MiG-19, but it's already over 100 kilometers an hour when you use the WEP. So there is that very fast plane that unbalances things as always, but once everything gets in the game, you will have better planes than this again, and then some other nation will have the best jet, and so it will continue until we reach the planes that we have right now in this day of age. The top speed in the dive is also quite nice, with 1296 kilometers an hour before she redlines and 1430 before she rips apart. Quite nice. The control stiffening matches that. So it's almost effective dive speed. The control stiffening only starts very slightly. You get the first bump that you notice a little bit of control stiffening at 1000 kilometers an hour, and around 1200 it becomes a little bit more severe, but it's still very good roll rate especially. The elevator also stays functional until quite late, so it's definitely possible to keep the plane in a dive and get the guns on target for a long time. And that is something that is very nice to know. The stall speed in the plane is also very good, with 115 kilometers an hour before she stalls out. And with that you can have some excellent moments in the vertical. Not only the stall speed is good, but also the vertical energy retention and the climb rate. So the plane is very good in the vertical. The firepower in the plane is very good. You have, as I said, that rotary cannon, 20mm JM61A1 cannon with 750 rounds. I used air targets for those, and in these matches that you see I use the AIM 9E Sidewinder air-to-air missiles, which were very efficient, and they're actually so good at picking up heat that if planes cross over each other and an ally crosses over your enemy, the rocket can or the missile can actually change target and get your ally. If you're not careful, it is very difficult for these stray E-rockets to fly around, because they will pick up on something usually. And I did shoot down an ally by accident. Now here we're going after a right target and nobody else is in the neighborhood, so here we go. And as you see, these E missiles are very efficient, and I did get a lot of missile kills this time. Which is quite nice, because before this I only had that bomber in the Mystère video. Anyway, with these two sidewinders and the cannon you have good armament on this plane. Very good firepower with a fantastic ammo load on the 20mm rotary cannon. You can also equip a good combination of both bombs, and you have 7 times 500 pounds, 5 times 750 pounds. And also you can equip 76 times FFAR Mighty Mouse rockets, and you can put combinations of those up as well. Either have sidewinders with bombs or sidewinders with those rockets. So you can go all ways with this thing. You can ground pound, you can make it a pure fighter. There is a lot of versatility to this plane when it comes to rolls, but also when it comes to what you put on it, which is quite good. Now the acceleration in a straight line is great. The dive performance is excellent. We have energy retention in the horizontal, which is fantastic, and in the vertical it's excellent. The performance of this plane is unsurpassed. The MiG-19s of course come close. I haven't flown the new MiG-19S yet, so I'm gonna have to see how that performs. But this plane is very good in the performance and an absolute joy to fly. The climb rate in the plane is fantastic, so as I said, with excellent vertical energy retention, fantastic climb rate, and a stall speed of 115. This can be very good in stall maneuvers. The only problem you have is you don't know whether the enemy plane still has a rocket. And once you stall out before him or above him, he has a chance to fire a rocket at you or a missile. And it is not very fun to receive that missile, so make sure to do it a little later in the fight so that you're reasonably sure that the enemy plane has already fired both missiles. Or more than both. You also have planes with 4 missiles, of course. The turn time in this plane is below average. The flaps only rip off at 8:30, but it doesn't bring it above below average in the turn time. It is not a plane you want to maneuver in, and turn fight is not a great dogfighter. Not that you want to do dogfighting much anyway in jets, but sometimes you get in those situations. You gotta know that this plane doesn't perform fantastic in that role. The roll rate is great though, and one of the better jets in the roll rate. So that is nice, but turning, pure turning, sustained turning is not something you want to do in this plane. Maneuverability overall is decent, because you can change direction very quickly with the roll rate, and you can get guns on targets well enough in this plane in a dive. It is very good at that, and the turn time, the elevator control is good enough for you to also pull a little bit after a plane if you have to in that dive. But I would still say that only from a boom and zoom perspective to get the guns on target. For the rest, the turning is not something you want to do in this plane, and I absolutely advise against it. Overheating in this plane is not an issue. The plane does overheat eventually, but you gotta really punish the plane with a lot of web usage, and eventually it will overheat a little bit, but once you let go of the web, then it cools off very, very quickly. So overheating is not an issue at all in this plane. Durability is good, maybe very good even. It can soak a lot of damage, and the plane in the flight model stays very responsive even with damage, and that is something that is very nice to see. So you can take a bit of damage and you can actually take the plane back as well and land. You also have 2 engines, and you can get home on 1 engine, let me say, but it is more difficult to maneuver with 1 engine. You will get stall behavior here and there very quickly when you go 300, 400 kilometers an hour on 1 engine. That guy crashes himself into the ground when he sees me coming, probably trying to deny me the kill. So, you know, unfortunate, but what can you do? We did have a nice approach there on him as we caught him taking off from the airfield. But unfortunately we cannot secure that kill. He crashed himself before I get the chance to fire. I do get confronted again with my irritation about the sonic boom effect. Often in this plane you reach that, and often you reach it when you're behind a target, and you can't really aim very well with that. I still think they could do something about it, maybe letting the effect not have such a long duration from 0.95 Mach to 1.05 Mach. I mean, we really don't want that. It should be a little bit more closer together, maybe from 99 to 101 Mach, if you have the effect then. A little bit shorter, a little bit more condensed, so that you don't have this thing in your view while you are trying to shoot down somebody. It would be more perfect for me, but that's just a minor point of critique towards this whole tier 6 jet fighting thing. It is absolutely fun in this plane. The flaps rip off at 8:30, as I said. Pretty nice. And the plane is a sturdy plane that can take a hit or two. Pure boom and zoomer, as I said, which is a fun role. The plane performs excellently in that role, but you can also transition into energy fighting if you want. And but don't try to roll too much and do too many maneuvers while you are picking position. in the energy fighting, because eventually it will lose speed. But if you keep your lines clean, then this plane will hold its energy very nicely, both in the horizontal and in the vertical. Now there is a little bit of maneuvering going on here, and this guy definitely kept himself out of my crosshairs very nicely. I was still getting used to the rotary gun a little bit. I got a puff of smoke there, by the way. I don't know if that was what that was from. Maybe I did hit him, but no effect. He's making some very nice maneuvers here with the I should actually have used the air brake here, which is actually quite nice. The air brake on this plane, it does slow you down quite significantly. And here we get a crit on him on the right wing. Unfortunately not enough to make him crash, and as we saw the damage there on that wing, that was definitely critical damage. But here it speaks for the damage model of this thing and the performance while damaged. The guy can keep the plane up and running while he was actually on 300-400 kilometers an hour stall speed, whipping with the air brakes out. It is quite significant, and it tells you something about the stability of the plane, which is actually quite good. We got 2 kills in that plane with 1 assist in this match, which should have been 3, actually 4 kills, because I should have gotten that last guy as well. But oh well. Oh yeah, and we did get that friendly kill in this match as well. So 31,000 silver lions with that penalty counted, and 10,000 research points for that match. Quite nice. Hey guys, so here we are after the match. Now the Mitsubishi T2 is an absolute beast at the moment. Can't say otherwise. I've been in teams full of these things, and we ruffled stomped the American teams a few times. It is tough to fly against this thing. I also faced them in this plane, but also in the Mystère the other day, and it's a tough plane to face. But of course, as we will see, there will be a power creep, and as they introduce more tier 6 planes, this plane will be replaced by another plane to be the best plane, and so on. There's still plenty of competition, and this is absolutely, this plane can still be shot down. It's a good plane in which a good jet pilot can do a lot of damage to the enemy team, but there's a lot of other planes that are good as well. And you know, I just look at it this way, that as they introduce more flavor to the tier 6 and we get more planes, this plane will be replaced, and there will be another best plane of the day, let's say, and we'll see how that goes. And this plane will have its place in War Thunder, and it definitely gives some incentive to play Japan again. If that is your main tree, or was one of your main trees, then the air tree for the Japanese now definitely has something to offer for you. And yeah, absolute great plane to fly, and a lot of fun to be had. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye. If you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button, become part of this community. If you are already a subscriber, don't forget to like the video, do leave me a comment, and if you really feel like helping out today, make sure to share the video with your friends and let them know about the channel.